Hello, my name is Sonia Martinez, and I am here to discuss the activity I completed in relation to budget and finance. As part of this activity, I utilized PEIMS data to compare with anticipated revenue, which is used to develop our budget. To begin this activity, I met with our district superintendent. He first provided me with the state funding template he utilizes each 6 weeks to estimate and track budget. It's a Excel document with several worksheets built into it. We reviewed the different components with worksheets within the Excel document to ensure I had a good understanding of how part of it works. We then also reviewed a revenue report from the Texas database system so that I could see how the two were connected with each other. As an added step, he showed me how to access the Summary of Finance, also known as SOF, within the TEA website and explained how the Summary of Finance approaches a near final estimate and eventually arrives at the final amounts. The next step I took was to meet with our district PEIMS coordinator. She assisted me with obtaining the correct report so that I could update the Summary of Finance data entry tab. I was able to utilize the superintendent's 6 weeks report for the third 6 weeks to enter student, FTE, and ADA information. I was able to obtain staff FTE data from the PEIMS reports as well. I then visited with the superintendent once again to obtain other data, to include property values, tax rates and collections, transportation data, and Chapter 41 data. All of this went into the Excel document as well. After completing the data entry portion, I used a side-by-side LPE and DPE report to compare and analyze the funding amounts. With this report, we were able to compare the legislative payment estimates, which is the LPE, and the district planning estimates, which is the DPE. It is extremely important that the district is actually spending as close to the DPE as possible, because that is the funding the district is truly allotted to based on enrollment, ADA, and FTEs. If the LPE is higher than the DPE and the district spends what it was given according to the LPE, it will be held responsible to pay back overspent funds. In reviewing the LPE and DPE comparison, particularly for our district after the third 6 weeks, it is showing a slightly lower overall refined ADA for all students as well as different programs. Therefore, it is vital that the district monitors spending so that the money is not owed to TEA. The district superintendent is very good about this monitoring every 6 weeks and reports this to principals as well and directors. The last thing I did in relation to this activity was meet with the superintendent to review the state funding template along with revenue budget reports, 571X and 581X. He showed me where some of the revenue amounts come from. In addition, he showed me how predictions from the state funding template are used to produce proposed budgeted amounts that are eventually adopted by the school board. He reviews this information with the school board as well as holds budget workshops with the school board. I definitely learned a lot from this activity, as I feel that budget and finance is one of my weaker areas in administration. I feel very comfortable in managing my department's budget as well as monitoring other department and campus budgets. The concept that I have limited knowledge with in the area of budget and finance is how the budget is developed based on predicted revenues. This activity was definitely a great introduction to that. I definitely found the state funding template Excel document to be a valuable tool. It is extremely overwhelming when you start working with it due to all of the different tabs and complexity of it. But I do feel by allotting time into reviewing the template more thoroughly and possibly even attending training related to it, I will have a deeper understanding of how it works. Over the past 2 years, our superintendent has done a great job of explaining and educating district and campus administrators on why we have experienced a reduction in funding. This activity has given me a better understanding of what has led to some of our budget issues we are currently facing. I now have a better insight of it all. Our superintendent is very knowledgeable with the budget and finance process. Therefore, he has the district organized in such a way that it is just him and a business manager that oversee the process. If I were superintendent in the same district, I would consider some reorganization due to my lack of knowledge and still learning the budget finance process more thoroughly. I would consider hiring a chief financial officer or assistant superintendent of finances for the district to help oversee the process. And this is if I were to become superintendent anytime in the very near future. I did greatly enjoy this activity and want to continue doing more to gain a deeper understanding of district budget and finances. Thank you.